questions. If you didn't know what it is, we ask. Well, in this game, it's going to be Robert Wheeler Game is going to ask 20 yes or no questions.
Can I ask 21 questions?
You're trying to guess the wrestler that I have selected this week. Last week, I guessed it within like the 19th.
Because you cheated.
Question on there. He claimed
you cheated
that I cheated.
You cheated yet again?
I did not cheat on it, but that's how you do it. You got 20 questions to try to ask yes or no questions to try to guess who the superstar is that I'm picking on there. So go ahead and try starting now. This would be your first question.
All right. So is this wrestler wrestled before the 2000s?
Yes.
Okay, so we're looking more attitude 80s, 70s guy. Now, did he wrestle or she wrestle in the Attitude Era?
The Attitude Era, no.
Okay, so now we're looking mid 90s to 80s. Now, is this wrestler, did they win the WWF or WCW title at the time?
What WWF or WCW title? Like
world title.
The world title?
Were they a champion?
Let's see.
Because if it's mid 90s, then we're looking, you pretty much only had one title.
No.
So okay, so were they a mid card champion?
No.
Okay. Tag team champion.
Yes.
Okay, so they were a tag team champion during this era of wrestling. Was that 5? I'm on 6.
Yeah, you're on 6. Yes.
Is this wrestler in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Okay. Kind of leading to this wrestler. Did both these wrestlers win the title, the tag team championship in the WWE, and later on go to WCW?
Yes.
Okay. I think I might know who it is if I'm getting it correctly. Now, did one of these wrestlers from the tag team end up reinventing himself later on before the Attitude Era in the WWF?
No.
Okay, so it's not who I'm thinking. So I'm thinking tag team, not Attitude Era, so it can't be that tag team I'm thinking of. Is this tag team anybody part of the family line, the bloodline? Are they part within that kind of? I can't think of what their family name is, but like within.
So you're not saying that they're part of the Samoan bloodline?
Yeah, like, that's what I'm talking about.
They're not part of that.
They're part of like the Roman Reigns family, Rock's family. So do they have a lineage?
So are you saying that they're part of the Rock family, or that they have a family history in WWE,
or like do they have the lineage? So I guess family history within WWE.
Yes.
Now, is it the Samoan family history?
No.
Okay, so family history, the one tag team title. Okay, so is this wrestler before the 90s? Did they wrestle?
Yes, they've wrestled before the 90s.
And now, did they start their career in the 80s?
I would say yes. They
started their career in the 80s, or they wrestled in the 80s?
They wrestled in the 80s.
So then they were a 70s, 80s wrestler who happened to maybe wrestle a little bit over in the 90s.
They got their popularities in like the 80s and 90s.
Okay, so if they're popular, they're a tag team.
Now I'm only picking the one person.
Yeah, I know, so. But if he's part of a tag team, he won the title. He wrestled in the 70s and 80s. And he would have won.
And he wrestled in the 90s.
A little bit in the 90s, though. Okay. Does this person have family currently wrestling as like a second or third generation superstar.
Yes.
Okay. Now, did this person have a kid who is a second generation who recently passed away?
Yes.
Then I think I might be leaning to, I might know who it is, but I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so
you're on question 15 now.
I'm on question 15.
Yes.
So you said he was like 70s, 80s wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Won the tag team title.
He also wrestled in the 90s.
Yeah, he wrestled a little bit in the 90s. I'm trying to think. I think I know who it is. Was he a gimmick wrestler?
Weren't they all
in the 90s?
Like, weren't they all in the 80s and 90s?
Not all of them, but so yes. Okay, so he was a gimmick wrestler. Okay, well, I think I might know who it is, but I'm not 100% sure. Based off because,
so you're on 16.
Based off, you said family history, and it's not Samoan dynasty. And then if you tag team, if the guy who I'm thinking of does have family history, okay, I think I don't know if I should ask this question because it's going to easily give it away. If it is correct,
if it's correct and it easily gives it away, then you can guess it right now.
Is his son Bray Wyatt?
Yes.
Then I am going to guess that it's Mike Rotunda, aka IRS.
Yes. You got ding, 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 ding. Do you know the reason why I picked it?
Because the last time I don't remember if I picked Ted DiBiase or I've been wearing the shirt.
I picked Ted DiBiase last time. Okay. But the only reason why I picked it is because today is tax day, so because of IRS,
I didn't even think about that.
Don't forget to pay your taxes.
I didn't even think about that.
If you were trying to get your clues, which you didn't use any of your clues, I would have said, what day is today?
I totally forgot about that. So, but the only reason why I thought about that was because, well, I guess I get a line of thinking because I asked Samoan Dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
You said no. I was leaning towards Earthquake because I said, did he reinvent himself later on as Golga?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking because both of them went to WCW.
Mm-hmm.
You said no. And then when I was thinking family history and a tag team, the only person I could think of was IRS.
Yes.
Or, Mike Rotunda. Yeah. They wrestled in the 80s. He wrestled in the 80s in WCW, as Mike Rotunda before he came in as IRS.
So his only championship, he had 5-time world tag team champion.
Mm-hmm.
He was 2-time with Barry Windham, which is his brother-in-law or whatever relate to him, and then 3 times with Ted DiBiase as Money Inc. On there, and then he was in the Hall of Fame in 2024 as a U.S. Express, which
he just made it to Hall of Fame that late.
Yes,
dang.
So they put that in there for the U.S. in there.
Maybe they need to put Money Inc. Then thinking about tag teams, they need to put Money Inc. in next year.
So he's won the Florida, the NWA, Florida heavyweight champion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But those, the NWA is not really around, so it really wouldn't count it.
I didn't even think about tax day, though, but...
But they said that, let's see. Yeah, so the family history is Blackjack Mulligan is his father-in-law, Barry Windham is his brother-in-law, and Kendall Windham is his brother-in-law. So he has the whole family.
So he technically, though, he started the whole, the next generation because his father wasn't a wrestler, but he happened to, and then they married into 3 kids wrestling.
Which is Bray Wyatt, Bo Dallas, and then the other kid I think is a girl, which isn't really wrestling right now. But they said that he was, I don't know if you remember him when he was in WCW.
I remember him in WCW.
He was called VK Wall Street.
Yes, I remember.
Yes. So he was there or Michael Wall Street in WCW.
We need to see. We need to see if we could do a series if we don't get demonetized. If we can watch these matches, and because I'd like to watch more WCW.
Yeah.
and just be able to watch but do they have it on Netflix to be able to watch just episodes like they used to have for the WWE Network?
They don't, because since WWE sold the WWE Network on there, they compartmentalize certain things.
And how many
only
to
thing
watch
that you
weekly
can-
episodes?
Like the only thing that you could pretty much do, but you'll probably get demonetized, is they sometimes have the YouTube channel with WCW.
Yeah.
It's like 24/7.
But something like that I'd like to watch, because you got to think, like, I want to see old matches of like Booker T,
Mhm.
you know, Harlem Heat, like things like that. The way that WCW used to do, you know, the way that they used to do wrestling before it became this big, you know, battle of the Attitude Era. But
See, and Barry Windham was the Blackjack Mulligan or Blackjack Lanza.
isn't one of those kids Tessa Blanchard? Isn't Blackjack Mulligan or something like that Tessa Blanchard's dad?
Mm-mm.
Who am I thinking? Blanchard. She's related.
That's Tully Blanchard.
Tully Blanchard.
Yeah.
Then it's one of those guys. Then
It might be
that I'm
like
thinking of.
let me see. Tully.
but yeah, that's what I was thinking. Let me see. I'll just look up Tessa Blanchard.
I already see it. I already have Tully on here. He's part of the Four Horsemen.
I'm surprised they haven't used Tessa Blanchard to bring her
Joe
back.
Blanchard is his father.
Bring her back from. She's still young.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Magnum TA is who I'm thinking
Oh
of.
yeah.
Magnum TA, but yeah, she's still young in a sense. I mean, she could come back and
Joe Blanchard was a wrestler too,
push
I
her
don't know that.
career in the WWE for a little bit, but because she's back with Impact Wrestling, I'm surprised she hasn't.
Well, I mean,
Come back
there's
yet.
always the whatchamacallit, the Royal Rumble that could possibly
For next year,
for her next year, for her to
but they could have used her.
come back.
Like I was kind of thinking,
because of what's her face
what's her name that they just got from Impact Wrestling? I can't think of her name right now, but she was the champion. She's the real
she was the
buff.
bodybuilder one.
And they're not really using her either.
Nope.
And so it's kind of like,
And I think what they're going to do is when Jade Cargill loses the title, she's going to be buried.
yeah,
Because I think
they should never give Jade Cargill the title.
Yeah, they should never gave it to her. But I think what they're doing, which should probably be a thing, is like they try to give them like the title for when they come from another company to say like, oh look, we gave you this opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, oh, you came here because you wanted to get gold. Here's, you know, the golden opportunity. But then if they don't go over or whatever, then they're gonna start getting.
But the thing is, with her, it was like, oh, she's real popular, coming from AEW. This. She can't wrestle. She can't wrestle.
She wasn't really popular in AEW. I think that they
just can't wrestle.
I think that they needed more like big, like name people that are from other companies that would defect, so that then they could say, oh, you know,
Yeah.
she was from, you know, the independents or
But
whatever.
that's my biggest
and
thing.
stuff like that.
I will call it like I see it. I don't care whether or not like you can't wrestle. So
Yeah,
why
I
are
know.
you even in there? Like why do you even get championship? Kind of like Nia Jax. She can't wrestle, but they give her the title.
And every time there, she injured.
She's always
people.
injuring something.
Mhm.
Like she's not good, and I think it's too her size. I think that's a whole reason why, and it's tough. And it's tough for her too because you don't have like taller women her size that are actually wrestling.
That's why it
and
was
things like
weird that they didn't sign on this one tall white chick, because they had kind of like the new Tough Enough is like the LFG or some kind of thing like that. Well, there's this like 6 foot, 7 foot white chick on there. She's really tall, and I would think that they would, you know, want her in the WWE. But I think the problem is like what you said, is like all these other women in the WWE are tiny,
Mm-hmm.
and so if like you get somebody like Nia Jax or somebody that's really tall, that are like like almost type tall, that they would demolish them and not be able to like.
It's not a real type of match, and especially too, like I said, you don't have those David Goliath matches like you used to have in the '90s, where you have the small guy. Like you think even the early 2000s, like Rey Mysterio going up against Big Show, and it'd be like, and Big Show could demolish Rey Mysterio, but no, he wins the title, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, like you don't have something like that with the women because it's like all the women they're not like super tall you have in the WWE.
And also, you think that like the women like have never experienced fighting the tall dude, so that or the tall chicks or whatever. So it's like they can't do their moves.
No,
so it'd be like, okay, you're trying to do like Sister Abigail to the tall chick, whatever. Like it would look awkward for the little tiny girl.
Yeah,
to go and
like Alexa Bliss is like 5 feet.
Yeah,
trying to go up against somebody who's like 7 feet.
It would not look right, and so I think that's the reason why they don't bring in like a bunch of the tall ones. But then it's like, then you get like somebody like Nia Jax. Like the only reason why she's in there is because of
she's part of the bloodline.
Yeah, she's part of the bloodline, so that's the only reason why she's in there. But other than that, it's like she can't wrestle. She should go back to NXT, maybe win the NXT Women's Champion or whatever like that, like to get more practice. But they're not going to do that. Because,
but even then, like you know who I think would be you need somebody who would be a good trainer, and I think Natty would be a good trainer because she's not only is she is part of the family line, but
I think she would train them really well.
But like, she has a wrestling experience. But I think that's interesting though, because you're not going to really see like the Hart the Bret Hart's like lineage.
Yeah, the Hart dynasty.
They're not really going to have it anymore.
Nope.
And they were real popular.
Natty's not having any kids.
Yeah, and I can't think of anybody else
and Bret Hart's kids are like.
Does Bret Hart have kids?
I don't know if he has any kids.
And then what about his brothers and sisters and all them? Like I don't see.
They probably like his other brothers or whatever probably do.
Yeah.
But
like Owen Hart's kids as well, they probably aren't.
They may not want to be wrestlers.
And you see, like their family.
Davey Boy Smith, he has his kid who's a wrestler, but like
So I'm saying that's the thing though, is you wonder why they don't get the push compared to like the Samoan dynasty and stuff like that. So that's what's interesting, because I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, you thought about with like Bret Hart, they have a family dungeon, they're training all these wrestlers, and it's like you don't see that anymore. But like somebody like Natty, who's trained through all that, and she's a really good wrestler, she could start training these.
Well, she's trained, but like she's
these women wrestlers,
like Summer Rae. She's taught.
But even like
what's that one chick that was basically on Total Divas just to get popular, but she can't wrestle?
Yeah, I know who.
I can't think of what her name is. She's more of an influencer than an actual wrestler. But like Natty tried to train her.
But even having all that, like you got to think, like she can start training some of these younger people and start showing them how to be more technical. She should have been the trainer in
that LFG instead of giving it to Mickie James,
because
Mickie James can wrestle.
Mickie James can, yeah.
But still, like they should have given.
But you got to think like a woman's wrestler who's actually going to have the wrestling. Because anytime you saw Natty wrestling, were you ever like, oh man, she's terrible? You're like, no, she's actually really good.
I was expecting her to be good because of her dynasty family.
And I mean,
because if she sucked, I would have blamed it on the dynasty.
They haven't really given her, like, even you see her with the matches with like Maxine Dupree. That's what I was talking about. Like that should have been more of a rivalry, more push, because that was actually good matches, and the feud that they were having going back and forth, that was actually good. But because it's Natty and Maxine Dupree, I think Maxine Dupree still has time before she's actually big name. But she's like wrestling with Natty. I think she's going to learn so much more than what you expect. So,
but you got it within 16.
So
that's pretty good. I thought you were going to get it lower.
Yeah.
When you realized, excuse me, when you realized what day it was.
I didn't even think about it.
Because I was like, that's the only reason why I picked it for this, because it landed on
I didn't even think about that.
So then, because if you don't know it on here, you shouldn't be watching the channel, but we're more about the old school stuff. But it's like, everybody pay their tax.
I remember that.
And stuff like that. And so, like, he has the Legends contract where he, I
didn't even think about that
recently and all that, when they'd go in the backstage and so he has the Legends contract.
I don't remember any of that. So,
but I don't remember the US Express. I remember the Midnight Express. I don't really remember too much the US Express.
You remember the Rockers?
But I remember the Rockers and the new Rockers and stuff like that. But Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I really thought that you were going to get it within like three or
No, I
four.
didn't even think about it being tax day. I already did my taxes. So
Yeah,
I'm
because
like,
when I said that it was, 90s, 80s, and 70s wrestler, I thought that you would have been got towards that real quick because when you were like, they won the world title? No, they never won the world title. WCW world title? No. Tag team was their only accolade. I thought for sure you'd be able to get
no,
the tag team.
no, I didn't even think about. I didn't even think about it until you started talking about family lineage, and I was like, yeah, I know who it is.
Yep. Well, that's good. So that's all of our 20 questions wrestling one. He got it in 16, which is good for him. On there, he can't say I cheated on there. Oh, well, here. Is there a mirror back here?
Delete.
I think he...
delete.
I think he cheated. I think he looked on my phone. I think that's what it is.
Was it obsolete? Obsolete?
But, again,
yeah.
Dark Factor 16.
Robert Wheeler Gaming. Yeah.
And we'll see you on the next Tackles and Takedown.
Have a good one, guys. God bless.
See you. WrestleMania weekend. Don't forget.